So Nick Fuentes, I believe he was talking here about basically how the U.S. ended up doing war with Iran and greenlit Israel doing war with Iran. And he says something interesting because he admits I was right. He admits that yours truly was right. So let's listen and then I'll have a lot to say about it.
Honestly, this is the one time, and I'm going to be really honest with you, this is not, I hope this doesn't sound a certain way, but this is just the dumbest thing I've ever heard, ever, from Trump. And I'm not a Trump derangement syndrome guy. I supported Trump for a very long time. I happen to think he's very intelligent. I happen to think he's very strategic or
That's a good one.
Tactical. This is the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard from him ever. This is like, it's almost worrying. You almost think, what is the cognitive state of the president? Is he even equipped to deal with the crisis? Because what it sounds like is muscle memory, like he's just falling back on a familiar pattern.
So what he's talking about here is Trump saying, hey, after Israel attacks Iran, kills all their top military officials, kills all their top political officials, their negotiators, their scientists, their nuclear scientists, bomb apartment buildings. After Israel did that attack, Trump seemed to actually think, like, no, now I'm more likely to get a deal after Israel starts the fucking war with Iran. Yeah, because everybody's always in a great mood to negotiate and do diplomacy after all their people were fucking murdered, right? So what he's talking about here is Trump expressing to the press, like, well, hold on. Yeah, yes, I did greenlight the attack. I was in favor of the attack, but, you know, Netanyahu talked to me and told me he thinks I'm more likely to get a deal if you just let them start the war first. And so Nick is saying that literally, like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. How could you think that that would help you in your quest to get a deal, right? All right, let's keep going.
There's gonna be no diplomacy. What are you talking about? They better come to the table before it's too late. It is too late. Israel crossed every red line. Why do you think Iran has a latent nuclear weapons program? It's literally for this contingency. That's why it exists. That's why they wouldn't give it up, because they knew this was coming. And Trump comes on Twitter today and says, oh, well, they better come and make a deal. It's legitimately concerning.
What did we talk about the other day? His cognitive abilities are getting worse. He's declining mentally. That's why he said multiple things in the course of one day that where everybody was like, what the fuck did he just say? He said he's not the sharpest bulb talking about Joe Biden. And there were like, he said Gavin Newsom's decisions in LA have led to tremendous death. Nobody fucking died. Not a single person fucking died. There were like 3 or 4 incidents in one day. Everybody's like, what the fuck? So Trump has that kind of dementia that just makes you more angry and more boisterous, right? He doesn't have the Joe Biden kind of dementia where like he seems confused all the time. It's easier to spot the dementia when it's the Joe Biden type. But when it's the Trump type, because of his confidence and his arrogance and his bravado and his charisma, he can sort of override the fact that, and I've always said this about Trump, if you read an interview with him, right, where it's all in text, don't listen to it, read it, and you will see, holy fucking shit, this is sentence fragment after sentence fragment, totally disjointed thoughts. He goes off into the fucking wilderness and never brings it back to the main point. Like, you'll read this and go, something's wrong with the guy who's saying these things. Something's wrong. And guys, he's always been this fucking stupid. This is a guy who believes in his core that exercise is bad for you. Why? Because he says, oh, you're depleting your battery. You have like a battery, and the more you do, the weaker your battery becomes. So you'll die younger if you exercise. I'm not kidding. This is something he actually believes. And it's just one thing. He said, he asked if we could nuke a hurricane, that if that would stop the hurricane. And this is the guy who Nick Fuentes, I thought he was actually really intelligent and strategic. Well, now are you waking up? It sounds like he might be. All right, here we go. Let's keep going.
And Trump comes on Twitter today and says, oh, well, they better come and make a deal. It's legitimately concerning. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I'm not that guy. You know me. I'm not that guy. I'm not like a Kyle Kulinski, like liberal who says Trump's an idiot. I'm not like Stephen Colbert, who's...
First of all, I resent the fact that you just called me a liberal. I'm not a liberal. I'm a leftist. Second of all, comparing me to Stephen Colbert is fucking embarrassing. That guy's a joke, okay? But third of all, I love how in the segment where you admit that I'm 100% correct, you still try to take me down a peg. Well, guess what? This is what I said in my last segment, responding to Nick. This is what I said in my last segment. I said, maybe all you guys will fucking wait. Maybe all the groypers will grow up out of their fucking 15-year-old incel ideology, and they'll realize, hey, it seems like the leftists are right about everything, actually. Right? Even notice, we were just talking about this, but even notice the way we talk about being anti-war. The Tucker Carlsons of the world go, oh, well, I don't ever really talk about Gaza because people get mad at me when I talk about Gaza, but they bombed a Christian church there and I'm against the Christian church being bombed. And, strategically, sir, I don't think this is the best idea to go to war with Iran. That's a chicken shit fucking argument from beginning to end. Okay? The real argument is Iran is not even trying to build a nuke. They never were trying to build a fucking nuke, number one. Number two, Israel did, and the U.S. did the illegal and offensive, aggressive attack against them. We started the war. We are the baddies. We are the baddies. In moral terms, this is wrong. In principle terms, this is wrong. That little chicken, strategically, shut the fuck up. This isn't a strategic question. It's a moral question. Should you attack a country that didn't fucking attack you and had no plans to attack you? No, you shouldn't. Right? And that's the difference. The left has been right about this all along. Every fucking step of the way about Trump being a colossal fucking warmonger. I was 100% correct. And everybody who was pretending like he was the anti-war candidate, I was warning everybody and going through his entire fucking record from his first term, and it was water off a duck's ass. But now everybody, maybe they were right. Yeah, no shit, we were fucking right. Of course we were fucking right.
Like liberal who says Trump's an idiot. I'm not like Stephen Colbert who says, he's an orange dummy. I think he's very intelligent. Yeah. This is truly like a mind-boggling, confusing response.
Because he is a fucking idiot, Nick. You're admitting that I'm right. This is weird. Turns out Trump's an idiot. Oh! Look, I've said this before, but come up with any negative quality or characteristic you can, it applies to Trump. And I'm not kidding about that. Like, what you're taught, when you're brought up in this country, in a functional school district, let's say, you're taught very basic virtues. Like, hey, it's good to tell the truth and not lie. It's good to be altruistic and empathetic. It's good to treat people equally, right? It's good to have honor and integrity. Like, these are the things you're taught. Literally every single one of those things, Trump doesn't have it. He lies all the fucking time. He's such a pathological liar that, like, virtually almost everything he says is a lie. Unless he says he's going to do something bad, then he means it and he'll actually do that bad thing. He is just the most greedy motherfucker on the planet, the most selfish, narcissistic motherfucker on the planet. Like, there are literally no good qualities about this man. And that also applies to his immense lack of intelligence.
And it's scary because it shows that Israel has such a sophisticated and complex and strategic view of the situation, and our president is out to lunch.
They're not sophisticated. They're able to get whatever they want because they know how to play the game. The Israel lobby spends colossal amounts of money in our political system. That's also why you don't hear many Democrats objecting in principle to what Trump and Netanyahu are doing. The Israel lobby has effectively bought our system of government. And so when Trump takes $100 million from Miriam Adelson this last race alone, that comes with strings attached. You're going to let them complete their final solution in Gaza. You're going to let Israel take over the West Bank. You're going to let them continue to bomb Lebanon and steal parts of Syria. And you're going to let them do war with Iran. It's actually very simple. The Israelis know, stroke the shit out of Trump's ego and just give him all the money in the world, and then he'll let you do whatever you want. And that's where we are. None of it is complicated. None of it is complex. None of it is nuanced. None of it is sophisticated. This is all very straightforward, very simple. It all goes back to political corruption, and it all goes back to our leader being a fucking corrupt idiot.
Israel has masterfully orchestrated this crisis from the very beginning in a sustained way, fighting off every challenge in a very difficult domestic political climate. And our president seems to be like stunned almost. It's scary.
I just said it in our last segment about Nick, that maybe you guys will eventually realize, oh, actually the leftists are correct about everything. Maybe I should be a lefty. Yeah. Could not have said it any better myself, son. That's exactly right. And you should be more on the page that the guy's a fucking idiot, because I don't know how much clearer he can make it. All right, guys, that's the show, y'all. I love y'all very much. Thank you, as always, for listening. Everybody, please click like, click subscribe, click that bell icon so you get a notification for every time a video drops. Thank you to everybody who supports the show on Patreon. If you'd like to do that, that link is below. $2 a month, $5 a month. It goes a long way. Remember, we are real independent media. I've never done an ad read, never talked to an advertiser ever, and never will. for this show. Also subscribe to Substack. That link is below as well. And go subscribe to Corin's World, the YouTube channel where we drop our Kyle and Corin podcast. All right, y'all. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Peace. Hey, y'all. Do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.